Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explain, and I hope you're doing fantastic. And I'm very sorry for the poor quality. I am at my summer house, so there's really poor lighting here. But I hope you can bear with me anyway, because this match preview is important since we're kicking off our Premier League 2025-2026 season tomorrow in a London derby at the Bridge against Palace. And in this video, the main topics is going to consist of three. The first one is we're going to discuss our objectives for the season and how far we can go in each competition. The second talking point is what we should do with the centre-back position in the middle of this makeshift back three, because Maresca has been vocal that he wants a new centre-back. And the third topic is of course around the predicted lineup for the first game of this new season. And we can just dive very briefly into what Palace is all about, etc. But if we're gonna talk about objectives, I mean, if you're looking at the results and how we ended the season with a Conference League trophy, with reaching the Champions League spot in the top four, as well as being the world champions by beating PSG convincing in the Club World Cup final, and the players is starting to clicking. We continue to do better in the market in terms of recruiting players that suits Maresca's style of play, and as well as we're offloading players that he doesn't need. I would say we are in a very strong position to do even better this season. So if we're thinking of Premier League, how far can we go and what should be our target? Well, my personal target should be to challenge for the title. We should be able to consistently this season challenge the title with the likes of Liverpool and City and Arsenal. We should be up there. Now, do we have everything what it takes to win it all? I mean, we should never say never. That should hopefully always be the aim. But if we're going to be realistic, I think we can challenge but not win it. For us to really win the title, we're gonna have to nail down a few more signings, a few more upgrades to the squad, so it becomes really strong. But I'm very impressed with us so far, and how things have turned around, and how quickly we have improved in recent months before we went on a 3-week holiday. So I'm very confident. But I think we're gonna finish in like third in the Premier League. Maresca talked about in his press conference that he doesn't like to set objectives and targets. He likes to focus on one game at a time. And honestly, I think that is a fantastic mentality and way of looking at it, because it's also relieving pressure from the players, and they don't have to think about the future so much. They're just taking one game at a time, and I completely agree with that as well. Now, in terms of Champions League, we are finally back to a Champions League competition where we belong, and I think we can reach quarterfinals. I think that should be a fair target. I mean, the bare minimum is to reach the latter stages, but we should have the quality to push for a quarter and maybe a semi-final as well. And in terms of domestic trophies, in terms of the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, here I want us to win either of them. We either win the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. We need to always strive for silverware. And then I would be pretty happy with the season. And then the season after that, we're gonna challenge for everything. The title especially, and Champions League. Maybe if we have won a cup trophy this season, it becomes maybe less important. next season. But next season, we should go for the title at Champions League, in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts, what your objectives and targets should be for us. Do you think we're ready for a Premier League title race? Let me know that. Now we actually have the possibility to go really strong and deep in every competition now, because we have done a fantastic job in the transfer market, and I can't stress it enough. And we have also added quality squad depth. So we can rotate players, rest some players, while still maintaining a high level in terms of the squad players that we're bringing on. And that allows us to challenge for all the competitions. And that's why I am pretty confident. Now, what will it take for us to actually win the Premier League? Well, you need to go on a consistent win streak, or pick up wins consistently. You need to win some games against the top 6 sides. You need to also get through the toughest period every season, which is in December, where the schedule is really tight. Usually we're dropping points there. Like, I don't know how many seasons now we have dropped a lot of points around the December and January period. And then we have lost too many points to have any chance of catching the top 3 clubs. So that's what's need to. That's a requirement. You need to get points, as many as possible, in December and January period. And then maybe around March, you could start talking about, you know what? We actually have a chance of going for the title, because we're sitting top 3 and maybe only 4, 5, 6 points behind the top 2 teams. So I would say we wait until March, and then we see where we are. All know that Levi Colwill suffered a terrible injury. He's gonna be out for 6 to 9 months. I don't know how long, but basically the whole season. And Maresca stressed in his press conference that he wants a new centre back that has ball playing capabilities, that can make those progressive line splitting passes. And he feels like Tosin is the only player that can do that, and that's why he feels we need to dive into the market and bring him in a centre back that can fill Colwill's absence. And I think we have fantastic great options that to turn to. Fofana and Badiashile is gonna come back. Fofana isn't as progressive as a Colwill. He's maybe someone that's playing as a wide centre back in this makeshift back three. Badiashile is fantastic in terms of making progressive passes. So I don't know why Maresca didn't talk about him. Same goes for Josh Archimpong. Also fantastic in that aspect. Maybe he doesn't rely upon him to be that centre back in the middle. When he's saying that we don't have centre backs that can't really fill that role, I'm not so sure. Looking at the way Josh Badiashile has been playing in terms of when they're making progressive passes, and if you're looking at their stats, I don't know if Maresca is completely right there. Chalobah isn't really a progressive passer, so he's more like a wide centre back, like Fofana. And Anselmino I haven't seen too much about, so I don't really know there. But I think we could have Badiashile or Josh playing in the middle and be a backup for Tosin. So personally I think we have enough depth in our centre backs positions. But if we're gonna go after someone, maybe Bayer Leverkusen's Hincapie could be a brilliant option to turn to. Alright, so let's get into the predicted lineup, and we're going to see Sanchez starting in goal. In the back four we're gonna have Reece James, Tosin and Chalobah. So James and Chalobah will be the wide centre backs, Tosin in the middle. Cucurella as a left back, tucks into the midfield alongside Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez and Palmer occupying the half spaces. Neto on the right hand side. and our new signing Jamie Gittens on the left hand side as a proper touchline winger that's gonna challenge the opponent's fullbacks in 1 versus 1 situations. And then we have our new dream signing up front in João Pedro, that is basically a complete forward that can play anywhere across the front four. It's gonna be so difficult for the opponent to track and mark João Pedro, and our attack is just on another level this season. It's much more fluid. Crystal Palace is going to play 3-4-2-1 under Ulrich Glasner, and they prioritizes pressing high, winning back the ball, and then going on fast transitions. But if they somewhat decide to sit deep and defend in a 5-back system, in a 5-4-1, maybe Maresca change our 3-4-1 in possession system to a 3-4-3 Cruyff diamond system, as we have seen, where we only have one pivot in Caicedo, and then Enzo and Cucurella is going to occupy center midfield spots, and Palmer will be on top of that diamond, drifting to the right or the left hand side, dropping down. I love the adaptability and flexibility that Maresca has added to our game, so we can change depending on the opponents we're facing and as well as what's happening in the game. And if we continue to evolve, we're gonna be even more dangerous and lethal and unpredictable. In terms of a score prediction, I think we're gonna win in a narrow 2-1 victory. Crystal Palace is a really good side under Ulrich Glasner, and I really like their system, style of play, the players they got. They have recruited really well. They have an amazing front three in terms of Esse, Mateta, Sar. Sar is a very underrated player. They got strong wing backs. They got Wharton in the midfield, making those progressive passes to the forwards. They got a strong foundation at the back with Marke as a captain, as centre back. They got Lacroix and I forgot the third centre back, but they have a really nice setup, and they managed to win the FA Cup last season. They managed to win the Community Shield against Liverpool. Crystal Palace is a serious team, and that's gonna be very difficult, I believe, to win against in the opener. But I still think we have enough quality to get the job done and win 2-1. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will happily read it. And Chelsea Experience out. Peace.